recreated this martial arts belt display out of an old wooden pallet. Welcome to Reused Relics, old to me, new to you. Hello, I'm Doug, and today we're going to talk about our process of taking a wooden pallet and turning it into a martial arts belt display. We start with a wooden pallet and the good old sawzall to take the pallet apart. Cutting through the nails with the sawzall is much easier and faster than trying to pull the nails out. Let's grab the 5 boards that are about 4 inches wide in this case and head to the table saw. We're setting the cutting width to 3 inches and trim off one side of the boards. Now let's set the table saw width to 2 inches and trim off the other edge. This gives us 2-inch wide pieces of wood that we'll use to make up the slats of the display. We take the 5 pieces we just ripped to the chop saw and cut off the ends, removing the nail head. Now we set up a jig to cut the slats to the desired length, which in this case is 14 inches. Cutting our slats from each side of the boards will avoid the nail heads in the middle, and we have the 10 slats that we need. Putting the slats to the side, we'll grab one of the wider boards from the pallet that we'll use to make the display header out of. First, we'll set the table saw width to 5 inches and rip off one edge, then reset it to 4 inches and rip off the other. Now we head to the chop saw and chop off the ends, and then we mark the board so we can cut us a piece 16 inches long. Then we'll set the chop saw at an angle of 22.5 degrees and cut off each end of the board. Now we take the other piece that was left over after cutting the 16-inch piece and we head back to the table saw. Now we'll set the width at 3 inches and rip it down. Back at the chop saw, we'll mark and cut the piece at 17 inches long and angle each side at the same angle of 22.5 degrees. These 2 angled pieces will be what makes up the header. Setting those pieces to the side with the slats, we'll grab another one of the boards from the pallet. On the table saw, we'll rip off one edge and set the width for 1 inch and rip us off a 1-inch piece of wood. This will become the piece below the header and above the slats that will be used to hold metals or whatnot. At the chop saw, we cut off the ends, mark it 17 inches, and chop. Now we want to notch each end of this board, so we mark 1 inch from each end and go over to the drill press and make the notch. We add that to our pile of cut pieces, and then we'll grab 2 of the thickest pieces of wood from the pallet and head back to the table saw. Thinly rip off the solid edge of the board. Next, we'll set the width on the table saw to the thickness of the boards that we're using and rip off the solid edge. At the chop saw, we cut off the ends, then mark it 30 inches and cut our 2 back pieces. Now we have all the pieces we need to make our martial arts belt display. We grab the handheld sander and sand the pieces of wood on all sides and edges. To start assembling, we grab the 2 pieces of the header along with some wood glue and some clamps. We put some glue on the wider piece towards the longer edge and clamp the other piece to it, centering and aligning the top edges. Once the glue dries, we mark the center of the long edge and then down 1 inch from there. Now we draw lines from the center mark to the top corner. We grab the jigsaw and cut along the lines to form a wide V at the top of the header. Now we sand the freshly cut edges and we're ready to resume assembly. Getting together the staple gun, brads, and wood glue, we're ready to go. First, we'll attach the header and the bottom slats. Next, using one of the slats as a spacer jig, we'll attach the remaining slat. Take the piece that was notched for hanging metals and attach it, centering between the header and the slats and side to side. All that's left to do is to stain and finish. There you have it, a martial arts belt display made from a wooden pallet. As always, thank you for watching and take care.